Hi, it's Katie here again in the Alabama Cooperative Extension System studio. Today, I would like to talk to you about rain gardens and bioretention. When we start to talk about rain gardens and bioretention, we need to talk for just a minute about impervious surfaces. These are hard surfaces such as concrete, pavement, rooftops, or any other surface that does not allow water to be absorbed into the ground. With these hard surfaces, we get increased runoff. This can be a problem for our streams because with reduced infiltration, water enters the streams more quickly and we have increased peak flows. So we can start to look at impervious surfaces across the landscape. When we look at this aerial image, can you identify some of the impervious surfaces that you see in this picture? Did somebody mention roads? How about parking lots? We've got a lot of rooftops. We also have sidewalks and driveways. As our rainwater hits the ground and picks up pollutants, it becomes stormwater runoff. And so any contaminant that is found on these impervious surfaces is carried away into our storm drains. It's also important to note that the first inch has the highest concentration of pollutants. We call this the first flush, and we want to make sure that our practices that we can put in to treat stormwater runoff can treat this first inch of rain because it's the yuckiest. So what can we do? What are some of the solutions to the stormwater runoff problem? Well, these can be simple solutions and they can also range to technical solutions. A simple solution is promoting infiltration or water being absorbed into the ground. We can plant rain gardens. We can plant more trees and have less concrete. That's a simple solution. A technical solution is installing bioretention, and we'll talk a little bit about how that works in a few minutes. So what is a rain garden? Well, it is a water quality practice. We are treating pollutants. It's bowl-shaped, and you can see in this photo that it's bowl-shaped to capture and collect runoff, allow it to infiltrate down into the ground, and allow some of the biological processes to occur that can break down pollutants that may have been present on the impervious surface that this is draining. Plants can also uptake nutrients, and that can also help with reducing pollutant loads. Rain gardens and bioretention are similar practices. They do have the same plants, they both reduce stormwater runoff, and they both are aimed at removing pollutants. However, rain gardens are smaller practices. They can be installed in your backyard. They use native soil, whereas our bioretention areas are large systems. They use a specialized soil that really promotes those biological processes to reduce stormwater pollutant loads. Bioretention areas are also heavily engineered and involve a lot of math and a lot of equations to make sure that they can capture that first flush. Here we can see a bioretention cell, and I thought we'd talk very quickly about how it works. In the center of the cell, you can see that specialized soil media. This is a very well-drained media. And so as it rains, water collects on the top of the bioretention cell, and it's held there for a little while, and so there will be ponded water on the top of the cell. In 12 hours or less, because we don't want mosquito growth, that water will infiltrate down into the bottom portion of the bowl of the bioretention cell. At this time, some of the water will leave the sides of the bioretention cell. And that's why it's very important that these bioretention areas be installed in a landscape that has well-drained soils. So the water will sit on the bottom of the bowl, and that's where we'll get some of that really good microbial activity. And that will really break down pollutants and cycle nutrients so that the water that leaves the bioretention cell through the drain on the bottom is cleaner than the water that entered it. And so the sun comes out, water evaporates from the surface of the bioretention area, and plants also transpire some of that water away. And so we can use these bioretention areas to reconnect the water cycle and to have water leaving the cell be much cleaner than what entered it. So what pollutants do these bioretention areas treat? Well, of course they treat nutrients. They allow these nutrients to cycle within the cell, within that specialized soil media. But the plants that are planted in the bioretention area also uptake nutrients. We can treat sediment because as the water ponds or collects on the surface of the bioretention area, sediment that may have been suspended in that stormwater drops out and settles onto the mulch layer. Pathogens are also treated because they settle on the mulch layer. And these pathogens, such as E. coli, cannot handle very high temperatures, which will kill them. And so, as the sun comes out and that mulch layer is dried out, those pathogens are baked to a crisp and killed. I hope you've enjoyed hearing about bioretention in rain gardens. I look forward to sharing next week's lesson with you. Thanks.